Hey, what's up, guys? Postman bringing you my first ever breakdown of some of my music. Today we're going over Trade Offer, which was a collaboration between me and Haunt. Shout out Haunt for making some bangers over there. I guess let's get right into it. I'm going to be doing this section by section, really. So we'll start with this little intro thing I made. Or actually, let's go over what Haunt sent me to work with in the first place. So here's what we're working with. We got a bass, lead, a little bit of a piano thing going on as well, and another lead, kick, hat, clap, some sidechain, and some chords, which sounds like this in context. And now, if you've heard the song, you can probably guess this is what the basis for the entire first half was, basically. If we go over to the FLP I was working in, start off with the lead rendered in, just to save on CPU and stuff. And so, like, this is fun. This is pretty great. I was like, okay, yeah, we can use that for the intro. And he had this, or I found this in a Daricore sample pack somewhere around the internet. I was like, oh yeah, that'll work here.
I hear your heartbeat to the beat of the drums. Oh, what a shame that you came here with someone. So while you're here, my
So yeah, we take the vocal, we kind of put a couple different EQs on it just to take it down a notch in the beginning. Oh, and the tempo, I got a modulator on the tempo here, got a little bit of automation going on. Slowly ease us into that drop. And got a bass that I've made here. And pretty much everything is underneath the filters, so it just all eases in at the same time, including the obligatory 2008 vocal. Of course, gotta have one of those in there. They also have some little transients here, like we got an impact I made with the car crash and siren, of course, and then this. So, like, really quiet so you can barely hear it. Kind of just sitting there, just waiting. And then we got this, which I used in Return Trip, actually. That's where I first made that, and I just decided, oh, I'll export that, render that, and then use it here. And it kind of works. I like it. And then got this little melodic loop, which I think is from Target Practice, actually. A little bit of lore there, sampling my own work, as one does. Then we got this, because can never have too many textures. And honestly, it blends in really well, like you can't even hear it. It's just like, it's just there. I can hear it sometimes not. But yeah, for the build-up, we got the clap, classic, slowly doubling in speed. And then that's pretty much it for that, besides like this fill that I'm going to go over in a second. But then the bass has a little bit of sidechain going on with this automation. Not really too much, it's just kind of there to give it a little more groove and rhythm. Okay, but this fill, we got some kicks, reversed kicks, and sound effect from Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. Love that one. But yeah, just as many different things as I can, I'll just put them in a fill and then call it a day. And then moving on to the first drop. So for this, it's not really too complex, I think. It's just layer, repeat. So yeah, we got really noisy chords, a lot of white noise up there. Got the bass. And at the end of the loop, it does this little high shenanigans. But when it's in context, it just kind of makes the next bar hit just that much harder. Yeah, it's just kind of, I don't even know why I did that. It just like makes it a little bit more unique, I guess. But then we got the lead, or the lead. Oh my goodness. Piano, and then this thingy. And then we're sending that all through some sidechain, and kick, hat, clap. And then I thought that was a pretty good basis, so then I added in some other stuff, like just some different little things like the impacts and risers. But then also the Kesha vocals. And the 2008 carries over from the intro. And then we got this. This is probably one of my favorite parts of the song, is just this lead pattern. It's a meow synth, of course. And then I don't quite remember what that's from. I think I'm interpolating some Geoxer song or something. All my Geometry Dash fans might know who he is. But yeah, then we got another fill over here, leading us into the second half of the drop. So we got laser sounds, reverse kick, which I just resampled from left to right. And we got that little perk, but super quiet. Snare, big snare, little record scratch. And yeah, that all together just makes a pretty good fill. And then we're back to the drop. We got a little glass breaking sound effect. You never have too many of those. And then I added another vocal here, Sick of the Sun. Banger song, you should definitely check it out. But I just love this one. Heard it from Fur Trash's alt account originally, Coltrane. Yeah, thought that would fit well. Ended up working pretty great. And so I kept it in. And then to lead into the next little break section, kind of chop up the rhythm a little bit here. But there's a lot of like reverb and delay on here, so it's very noisy. So what I've done is I have just some automation that cuts all of the tails off of those. And then just some really minor perks here. And yep, then for this first break section, we got some resampling happening. So we got this. And For my longtime fans, you might recognize that from my album Digital Introspection. It's actually, or actually you might not recognize it because I didn't end up using most of it, but it's this pattern in track 5 of Meanwhile in Christchurch, New Zealand. You know, this one. Yeah, thought it would be fun to use that, so I pitched it up a little bit, or pitched it down, I guess. Put it through a lot of processing. If we go here, okay, let's see, track 18. So we got a sound goodizer, of course. Got our Pro EQ, boosting some of the mono in the low end and cutting out the stereo so that it just doesn't phase a lot. They're boosting some other things just in the ears. And we're cutting out the lows, boosting the highs a bit, and we got some sidechain on it for later when I use it in this drop section. I chop it up a little bit and then I layer it. It's just got a lot of nice texture, so I decided I'd use it. Yeah, for this break section, we got the clap on the offbeat, and it does some more rhythmic kind of stuff. And we got this vocal from a Syntheon song called Blossom. Pretty great song. And we got yeah, that is a great song. Love it. Glass breaking sound effect yet again. Some Legend of Zelda sound effects. We got some chickens, verse kick, and that brings us into a kick pattern. Yeah, pretty normal stuff. Then this fill, I remember having a little bit of trouble making this, but it wasn't like super memorable. Oh yeah, had to put the good time vocal in here. But yeah, for the fill we just got same kind of basic structure of throw a bunch of stuff, make sure there's a little bit of everything. Got this, the arm snare, absolute classic. And we have that kind of, this is doing a little bit of a fade out, just like a fake longer tail by just putting it multiple times there and making it quieter each time. It's so dumb, it's so stupid, but I love doing that, and it just, I don't know, it's pretty fun. Another laser. And then the classic sound right there. Fill that I've used in Left to Rot, of course. And we chop the little thing again. Yep, then we go into section made entirely by me. I don't really sample basically anything else by Haunt. We got this melody that I've had sitting around in my PC for probably 2 years now. Haven't gotten around to using it. But yeah, I love that. Decided to layer it on here. Yep. So we just have this playing. Which is basically, we have a bass here from Left to Rot, actually. Just love that song in general. Yep. And then we have some pretty quiet chords here, which I used a couple times under the KGB official alias way back in the day. And then I'm layering that with this. In terms of melodics, it's just those three things mainly. But then we also have, I chopped up the Blossom vocal. Basically just those 2 syllables. And that's basically all I need to make this sound like listenable. And then we have the Owl City Good Time vocals all throughout this drop. And we're just pitching those up. We have some reverb, some delay, and some EQing here, cutting the lows out, boosting the highs as usual. And then we're using this. This is a good plugin if you're really wanting to make stuff loud. G-Clip. Basically, it's just your classic soft clipper or hard clipper, I guess. It just does a lot of cool stuff. But yeah, I'm just kind of softening the curves on this one. That's pretty much all that one's doing, but most of the time I'll just use those to like make everything as loud as possible. And it's pretty great. I usually put it on my master as well. So what I've done here is just have it with like 47% softness. Pretty good results. But yeah, just your classic kick snare pattern with a little bit of stuff changed. We have layering 2 snares together. That one I made from a bunch of different perks and stuff. And then this is from Windbreak, actually. And so I'm just mixing those 2 together to make a new snare. And that's that part, really. Normally during these things, I use a lot more perks and percussion elements, but I thought it'd be nice to have a simpler first half, and then I'll bring in some stuff here in the second half. Like I bring in some little hat loop, not very complex at all. Of course, the backwards snare, gotta have that. It's basically the law. Yeah, this fill, another Zelda sound effect, some snares, and this little thing. Yeah, oh, and these kicks. And then just for this section, I have some distortion on the bass, which makes it like hit just a little bit harder before it mellows back out underneath all the other melodic elements. And then we bring in some more Jersey Club stuff here in this last section. We got the classic Jersey Club kick. Yep. Got the gun cock, and the gun shock. And the dropper. Yep, then bringing it in with a Jersey pattern, clap on the half a bar, and back it up. Of course. Gotta have a back it up in there somewhere. Back it up! Got this little percussive element hitting the 1/4. Basically just laying down like a rhythm just to make it feel a little bit more energetic than it actually is, because without that it's just yeah, it just does just tiny bit of stuff there. Yep, for this section I'm just resampling this again. Bass and chords, but now in the Jersey Club pattern. And then I'm taking the It's Always a Good Time and then just repeating the good time. And here I have another fill. We're using the little thing from Crafter 2011's I Lied song, the speeded up. So we got that. And then this thing from Ball Hard, also by him. Then we're just combining that with just some more Jersey Club stuff. Got a laser from Gas Forces, and then this tiny thing from Imposter Sandwich. And then it's just the Jersey Club, but this time there's the gun sound effect in there too. Got the finger snap there, more percussive elements. And then for the ending, just repeating it until it just doesn't have the right rhythm anymore. I love doing that, really. And then for the last part, since it's called Trade Offer, and the cover art was of Linebeck from The Legend of Zelda, gotta put his theme in there. So I have his theme here. I've pitched it down a little bit. And then I decided I'd get a little bit goofy with it. So I have some strange chops in here that don't really make any sense, and then towards the end it pitches up. Very goofy, very goofy. But then I also layer on some vocals from the drums, Money. I want to buy you something. And then just chop that up, put on some silly sound effects. Got the ka-ching right there in the left ear. Back it up, very, very sparsely chopped. Also the finger snap and some other things. The whip sound effect. Some more glass. That one's actually from Legend of Zelda, of course. And a boo-hoo sound effect. Because he says he has no money. And the vine boom. Gotta have a vine boom in there. And then we have the chant right there. Just doing some really goofy stuff, just chopping it super small. And for the end of the sample, it has like those big 3 notes, and then on the third one I just totally layered a bunch of dumb stuff. And then called it the end of the song. And so processing on this, it's usually all the same thing. Sometimes we'll use an OTT, got a V distortion, that's what Haunt uses, introduced it to me by showing me the portion he used. But yeah, most of the time it's all just pretty much freeware. At this point it's just a lot of EQ to the kilohertz stuff, G-clip of course, and Fruity Limiter for the times when I have to sidechain stuff. But besides that, I don't really use much of anything except for sometimes Pro Q3 on bass things when I just want to make it better on mono speakers. Yep, not too much at all in terms of post-processing. I'm not really one of those guys. Then yeah, that is basically the entire song. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I yap quite a bit, and this is my first time making this kind of content, so I have no clue what I'm doing. So bear with me if I sound like an idiot sometimes, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. Be sure to like and subscribe, listen to my music on SoundCloud and stuff. I'm gonna have a link to the Discord in the description, so make sure to join that if you want to join me for events and stuff, or steal my samples, see the creative process, all that. That's going to be down there in the description. And hope you all have a great day. Thank you, and good night.